Hi everyone, I'm Michelle Obama. I'm here with my glam team, and this is my life in looks. This is my sophomore year at Princeton, going to the library, and I'm in what appears to be a basic Levi denim jacket with a red vest. This was sports sack. This was the happening bag. I think it was one of those rare purchases that I bought with my own money, and I had my hair in braids. Now, would you have dressed me like this? What do you think, Mary?
I think you're a cutie patootie. I love your little bag and your little watch, your little rolled up sleeve.
You know why I had to roll up the sleeve, right?
No. Oh, because the watch? No, it was too short. It was too short. Okay, tall girl problems. Hashtag tall girl problems.
The roll-up sleeve was a tactic.
Yes.
That I had to employ with almost every outfit. And I'm sure the watch was Timex, because that's all I could afford. Aw.
Who is that?
You. When I decided to get married, I was like, let me go look at some gowns real quick, because I got to get this done. So I think I went on my lunch hour.
How many dresses did you try on?
You know, this is so me, right? I went by myself.
Of course you did.
I wasn't thinking like, now they make such a big deal out of bringing everybody.
Did you have an idea of like what kind of dress you wanted?
I wanted the hourglass silhouette. Okay. I knew I wanted to emphasize my décolletage.
Okay.
And this dress had sleeves that detach. Our first dance was unforgettable, Nat King Cole. I get the feels when I look at this photo every time. Look, I had no jitters, I had no doubt. I knew that I was marrying my friend and somebody that I could trust. The first election night, this is Barack's US Senate win. I did get the suit at Barney's. It was all about efficiency because it was one of those things I'm rushing in between work and doing my thing, and it was like, oh man, election night is coming. I don't have anything to wear. And it fit perfectly, which is a rare thing for somebody my height. And it was a quarter-length sleeve, so I didn't have to worry about the push-up concept. On nights like this, I am not thinking about me, I'm thinking about my kids. Sasha looks like she was scared. She enjoyed the limelight, always did. It was just that there was a big boom that happened, a big pop, and that scared her. All right, next is, I thought this was South Carolina, but I read somewhere that, what?
No, I read somewhere.
I did, I read somewhere where it was another state primary night. St. Paul, Minnesota, I saw that. This was like my uniform. This was Maria Pinto sheath dress with an Alaya belt. And those sheath dresses were beautiful. It was practical for campaigning because while we were there doing that rally that night, I was probably at a farm festival and then at a school. It's never just one event on the campaign trail. It's usually 5, 6, a day's worth of activities. And then you have to be ready for TV. So I had to get ready in the day and just keep myself ready throughout the entire day. So no glam. Could have used you all back then.
You look good.
It was all me.
You look good, girl.
I remember when you were on The View in a black and white dress on.
Oh,
just
yeah.
stood out to me, and I was like, you raised the bar so high, and I was thinking, if they ever get in the White House, I would love to work with Mrs. Obama.
Did you really think
I really
that?
did.
Wow. So what did it feel like when we called you? And
I thought it was a hoax. I'm like, someone's really playing with me good. But then when I kept corresponding with the White House, and then when I ended up in the salon, it was real.
This was the presidential election in Grant Park. Do you remember?
I remember exactly where I was.
Where were you?
So I remember on election night being home and watching, and I was like, wow, are we really gonna do it the next day after you guys won? I picked up my newspaper. Everybody wanted a copy of my New York Times, and I was like, nope, and I still have it till this day.
Gotta get that signed.
I should. I should, girl.
I remember like going to sleep. I'm like, I'm just gonna go to bed because this ain't it. And then someone was like, girl, get up. History is about to happen.
The process of finding a dress for election night probably started a week or so before. I just didn't have time to think about what this dress was saying. I wanted it to feel vibrant. I wanted it to feel alive, but I didn't have a whole lot of time to think about what it would mean. You know, I didn't think about this being a historic moment. In that regard, I was thinking, now we gotta live What's next? It was a whirlwind, and you literally get from election night until Inauguration Day, which is the end of January, to completely change your entire life around. My first introduction to Jason Wu, big name designers tended to dress the First Lady for inauguration. I was pretty clear that I wanted to change that up. Jason Wu's story meant a lot in this moment. Canadian, Taiwanese, gifted, young. He must have been in his 20s at the time. And I thought, he's the designer that should be designing this dress for this family. The dress just happened to be ethereal in that way. There were 10 balls that we went to. We would dance, leave, get in a buggy, and go to the next ball in the convention center, do it again. We did this until 2 in the morning. So I knew this dress had to feel light and flowy. And once I put it on, I knew that this was the dress. No questions, wasn't even close. Ooh, the first Vogue cover, yes. It was actually internally on the presidential side a bit controversial. The team wondered whether being on a fashion magazine was the right signal. I don't think they understood Vogue. I don't think they fully understood the impact and power. I had to look primarily white people in the eye and say, you don't understand what this means. By then, I understood that I had to control my own image. Before I left it up to other people to protect my image, I thought this was an important opportunity. Shout out to Anna Wintour. We even said that I wouldn't show up in couture, that I would wear my own clothes and do my own styling, because this wasn't going to be a fashion shoot. This was about what we were doing. Being the First Lady, you have to be aspirational and representational at the same time. Being too unattainable, you know, makes people feel like this place isn't for them. This is your house. This is not our house. If young people don't see themselves in places of power, they don't think it's for them. This was the state dinner at Buckingham Palace. I love this look because I love the gloves.
I mean, this is such a story of these stupid gloves. It was just so much back and forth. I'm like,
with who?
The State Department, the East Wing. I had already commissioned this dress from Tom Ford. So I set up a call with him because I wanted to hear the fashion perspective. And he was like, Meredith, do the gloves. He's like, I'll send you 2 pairs.
But you hear in that how much political pressure there is, how many voices. There's a different level of pressure when people are already in the back of their minds are wondering, do you belong? But there is protocol. There's all this protocol. Big question is, well, at dinner, what do you do with the gloves? You know, I was like, do I take these gloves off? Let me tell you, those were leather gloves that it took 3 people to put on. Once they were on, I'm like, they're not coming off. I'm eating in the gloves. So I was sitting next to Her Majesty, the Queen, and we had a conversation. It's like, do you take your gloves off? And she's like, I don't take the gloves off. So I was like, phew, if I had talked to the State Department, there would have been 3 memos and 8 edicts about what to do with the gloves. I kept those gloves on all night. Ooh, this is one of my favorites. Oh, the bangs, yeah. That was about giving my edges a break. For all Black girls out here, you know what an edge break means. Johnny Wright was my primary stylist in the White House. He cut the bangs.
By this point, Mrs. Obama was doing a number of different things to her hair, from extensions.
It no longer had a relaxer.
Yeah, no longer had a relaxer.
How long did you have a relaxer?
All my life, child.
We had played with a number of different things, from wigs to extensions and things of that nature, and it was a conversation about really just giving her hair a break.
And I always tried to keep my look fairly consistent so that the story wouldn't be, Michelle Obama has bangs, right?
But it was.
But it was. Expert page turning. Ta-da! This was the last state dinner. I know Meredith didn't think I would pick this dress. How were you thinking about Italy?
I was thinking Italian designers. I was thinking, this is the last one. We can really go out with a bang. Growing up a lot in the 90s and seeing Gianni Versace and those collections, the craftsmanship, the way they approach design, the chainmail signature gowns, and you always look so beautiful in blushes and kind of really soft pinks. So I asked them if they could do rose gold, and it was just such a beautiful contrast of like strength and femininity, and sorry, body tea, like you were sexy. Like it was just really sexy.
Nothing wrong with that.
I love the color. I love the way it draped her skin. I liked the flow. So when I chose the makeup, I went with a metallic rose gold eyeshadow, followed with a liquid black liner for a cat eye.
This was like play for them too, because I understood that throughout these 8 years, they wanted to like go ham, right?
Usually want to hear her not talk about the makeup first, but this was have fun, do your craft, and that's what we did.
This was the last cover with Vogue with Annie Leibovitz. Annie had me in the garden. This was the result of us having a little more fun, a little more windblown, a little more chill. My comms team would always be like, nope, no, have her standing up, no, get her up from there. And you know, you could just see the wind coming out of the sails a little bit. So I had to tell my team, stay out of this. Let everybody do their thing. And that was the freedom of not having to worry about what anybody said.
I was proud to do this. I went with a monochromatic look. It was a bunch of shades of nude, nude eyeshadow, nude blush, nude lips, natural, pretty, and what?
Like Carl be answering the makeup questions. It's just like,
He knows that.
and I accented it with,
Yeah, and you know, the shimmer on the shoulders, a little lotion, moisturizer.
Carl loved to shimmer.
And she looks like herself.
The becoming era.
Man.
We don't need
More
no
fun.
water.
Let this motherfucker burn.
This look was teetering on the brink of my comfort zone, but it was still beautiful. This was me telling my story. I wanted to be comfortable on what was a 35-city international tour. And it's like, we're doing pants, we're doing suits, with the exception of this look.
This is a Balenciaga look. It came down the runway, I think, in yellow and blue. And I thought the yellow was really different and cool and like a little bit too much, but in a good way. I showed you a picture of the boot and you were like, yeah, I'll try it. And then
I don't think I said it like that. I mean, if you're gonna wear thigh-high gold boots, it's in New York next to Sarah Jessica Parker. I was out of the White House, so it was a long trip. By then I was wearing my hair natural curls much more often. A lot of times I'd do it when I wouldn't have hair and makeup.
We had started wearing natural hair extensions at this point. We wanted to make it sure that it mimicked her natural texture. And she was like, this is easy. And she got really creative. And she would do twist outs on herself, especially because Mrs. Obama started going to the hair salon at such a young age. So it was kind of like reintroducing her back into her hair and her being in control. So she'd be like, I just put 2 twists in my hair and I took it out and I like this. And I'm like, yeah, girl, that's a twist out. That's what that's called. A lot of people wear that style. So it was one of those things where it allowed her to play and experiment in her own hair, which is extremely important.
I wanted to be able to recreate anything that they did. I didn't want to be caught unaware, you know. It's like, what happened to Michelle Obama? Everybody was on vacation and she looks crazy, you know. And I'm still that practical woman that's like, I gotta be able to get up and at a spur of the moment. I don't wanna have to say no to a date night with my husband because Carl's not available. Oh yeah, well this, you know, look, Sergio Hudson, amazing. I mean, we saw this look and I was like, that's bad. That's a beautiful suit. That signature belt look, which just topped it off.
So we did a curl set. I know a lot of people think it was a silk press. It was not a silk press. It was just a curl and a round brush.
And I don't know what that is.
I didn't anticipate that the hair would go viral. This is the first time that they had seen them again. It was nostalgic after, 2020, and it was just a powerful moment. And I think that everything together is what actually made the moment.
This was Biden's inauguration. After January 6th, there was a feeling of unease and uncertainty. We were determined to go to the inauguration. But usually when I do big events like this, you guys come with me. I was very clear that I didn't want more people than necessary to be put in what could have been harm's way. Every decision was based on, let's just get through this day. This look is on the Light We Carry book tour.
I would describe the Light We Carry book tour as a little bit more casual, a little bit more cool, kind of
in my mind, elevated cool. Like it's something that still felt very much you in that sort of classic sense, but with edge.
It was fun to be able to play in this space from a style perspective, and braids just worked. It just went with it.
There's so much versatility in it. So like, I just wanted to show everyone, like, it's kind of no different than having loose hair or having locks. Like, you can play with it in so many ways. So like, that was my own personal mission when we were on tour.
I also understood the importance of making the statement that me as a Black woman, that we as Black women, women of all, there's so many versions of us. There isn't a political statement to it. This is just about how we wear our hair, what we want. And right now, I want to play tennis, I want to swim, I want to run, I want to jump. I do not want to sit in the hair salon for hours on end.
Except for one day.
Except for one long day when we are together.
For 24 hours.
For 24 hours, yes! And my husband is like, y'all done yet? And I was like, if you don't get out of here asking about whether we're done, we're not done till we're done, Barack Obama. Younger generations have done a great job of owning what they want to do. And now hair, you can wear a bust down, as I learned from Marseille Martin. Thanks, Marseille. I hope I said it right. All right, this was the 2024 Democratic National Convention in Chicago. And this is a beautiful suit by Monsi. It just represented where I was at the time. You know, still in suits. This was my last political venture. I knew that I was gonna do this because I believed in Kamala Harris. So I felt like I had to weigh in. So my focus was on what I was gonna say. That's where I could leave the rest of the thinking to my team.
Obviously, this is a big night, so many things happening. It's very important that the message comes across, but you did specifically request for a braided ponytail, right?
I just thought it was a super powerful look, and the speech was one of the best speeches I've ever heard.
But one thing I want to say about this night, just in general, fashion aside, outside of anything else, what anybody believes in, this speech, and speeches I've seen you give before, it was mind-blowing.
This is up to us, all of us, to be the solution that we seek.
You were one of the greatest orators of our time.
Well, thanks, Mayor.
It was truly amazing. We felt it, and people that were watching it felt it.
This is at South by Southwest, 61 years old, starting a wonderful podcast with my brother. This time in our lives is more of a reflection of who I want to be moving forward. Meredith, you chose this look because we were at South by Southwest and you were like, let's do a little. But being able to play in that way now is a part of that freedom. And writing this book, The Look, is about sharing that journey. I mean, it has been quite an arc from being that little girl on the south side of Chicago to today. So I hope that when people read through this book that they understand that journey, and hopefully they think about their own.
Working with this team has truly been a privilege. It's just a blessing.
And it's been an experience of a lifetime, and seeing all the looks that we created that are iconic just kind of blows me away. And I just want to tell everyone here, I love you.
I love you too. I just want to thank you all publicly from the bottom of my heart for just being outstanding every minute of the day. I love you all. And to everyone out there, thank you. Thank you for listening. This was my life in looks.